We need to restock on food.
Food's overrated.
For some reason, you flesh bags like it. So, unless you just want to live off Mirelurk meat. We got plenty of that.
Yeah, we just got a crap load of Mirelurk meat. It's true.
I could probably eat that. Is it irradiated?
No. It's poisoned. Some of it, maybe. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, let's see. I know irradiated is definitely a thing for me. I can't remember. Healed by radiation.
Mm-hmm.
Gain 1 HP for every 3 points of radiation. But does not say anything about poison, so I guess I can still be poisoned.
Oh, we don't have your... I guess that's less of a thing.
So Mirelurk meat has a 1 die chance of being irradiated.
You could have not looked that up. You could have just kept your goddamn mouth shut. Is what you could have done. Just saying, that was an option.
Yeah.
So,
You
uncooked, it, as far as the description of the
Oh no,
item,
he's cooked.
it will cause 1 combat dice of radiation, potentially. Which can be nothing.
I mean, radiation's everywhere.
But it can also be cooked out. Make cake, egg, omelet, queen steak. Well, that requires you to take out the big one. Roasted.
Amphetamines.
Well, I do believe that everyone is here, present, accounted for.
Yes.
I'm wondering where I should move us over to allow you guys to start recap. I guess I'll go to the docks there. You had, of course, recently taken care of a massive ghoul creature and some mirelurks. back at town, talking about the logistics of moving some people, when a new figure arrived at the gates. Looking cool, but a little bit dead.
Just a little bit.
And he talks a lot.
Yep, the dead guy is the smooth talker in the group.
It's previously previously. He showed up. We said hi. We didn't shoot him, which
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for not shooting me. That would have
we
been.
thought about it. It was an option, but we liked the look of his cow. And then
Part of your job.
Hey, you got a nice cow. You're part of the group.
we talked to him for a while, and then we were like, "There's other ghouls, so you should go introduce us to those other ghouls." And he was like, "You know what? I can do that." And he left, and it was like, "Okay, cool." We met that guy, and he was gone. He'll be back though. And then we spent a while discussing strategies for repopulating the wasteland. And by that I mean moving people around to different places, right? We did a bit of that. And then the ghoul guy came back and said, "Hey, we're going to have a meeting at the bookshop." And then we had a meeting with the bookshop. And if I recall, we were surprisingly persuasive.
I did really well on some rolls.
Yeah.
And then now the ghouls love us, and they're like, "Yeah, we're besties," right?
I would not at all go that far.
Best.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they said besties.
Yeah, they basically sent me to spy on you guys.
It's
Well,
not really
that's
a
not
job
a
when they
bad
tell you
thing.
like straight up in advance, like, "Hey, we're giving you as a token ghoul. If he doesn't come back murdered, we'll talk to him."
They also wanted us to like get. They were trying to convince us of their silly radiation, like religion, which I'm not gonna lie, Alexi found offensive because he actually understands what radiation is, because science.
Right.
And
so that's the whole thing. Because they're less inclined toward a rudimentary scientific explanation, a lot of what was being said and speculated on was coming off as blasphemous and not winning points. They also felt a little bit condescended toward. Like
because they were
these know-it-all surface dwellers are trying to tell us how it is, and like we don't know the real story because we've been underground. We're the ignorant ones. So that was
We've
a
only
less
been alive
positive
for
mark.
200
But then
years.
too, yeah, right. There was a lot of positive. There was a lot of show of attempting to be accommodating. So that definitely went a long way.
Anyway, that's what happened last time on the Emerald Isles Adventures in Settlement Management.
Oh, I.
Mhm.
Which there's more of that to deal with, but we can get there eventually. The list of survivors was updated to indicate where people might be going. I did shuffle around a little bit the way that handouts are arranged, just because it was
Okay.
kind of chaotic. So, like the inventories folder has stuff that you found. The Cascadia settlements has a folder for each location. And then there's general stuff about like the trade network and stuff. I don't know why is it necessary to have these two handouts? What's that about?
Sorry.
I feel like those could probably be truncated into one. Let's see. I don't think it was anything anyone else did. I think I just had a separate document that I could have added to rather than I'll just copy paste all that into that one and get rid of that one. It can be rearranged. Yeah, there's like a couple here. I guess I could have didn't get pictures. And I don't have a separate folder yet for the hospital and the government because not much has been done in regards to those, but that can grow as you guys change that.
I gotta be honest, some of me is a bit reluctant to do some things because I'm just terrified it's all gonna get torn apart when the Brotherhood of Steel shows up.
Well, I would, I mean, of course, I can't tell you how to live because you're a strong, independent woman, of course, but if you act
That's
as
right,
if,
Becky.
act as if they are either not a threat or they won't be a threat or you'll survive after is kind of the mindset, at least that Steve would be trying to push on survivors. Of course, you guys haven't necessarily broadcasted to the general populace like, hey, there's these people out on the highway that are heading north that may or may not want tribute slash our salvaged gear. You can definitely make plans and arrangements for that eventuality. But Steve and other leadership figures will be eager to kind of focus on we're going to survive and grow and build back better mentality.
And then
Man.
Sparks made a girlfriend.
Sparks made a girlfriend.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
the nurse
right.
spot. Nurse spot.
Nurse
Yep.
spot.
And she's
I mean, that's
on the list slated to head out to the Pike Place location.
what kind of flower does she have on her head?
None
At
yet
the
by
moment,
default.
none.
We got to
So
go find it.
Rose.
Gotta go find a flower at the dome
Yeah, I'm gonna.
and
It's gonna be
plant
a
it.
pot plant.
Whee!
The best
Yeah,
medicine.
because she's into pain management.
Nurse Green Thumb.
Yeah, and I got to do upgrades, so she got a fresh coat of paint. She actually
Oh, that's
has,
right. That's
she
why we
has,
were putting sexy robots in the chat. I forgot about that.
and I got to awaken her personality, so she's not just mindless robot. And I uploaded a copy of that medical data disk we got from the hospitals.
Very good.
So she has one well-trained robot.
I'm going to hack her.
That sounds like a personal issue.
So we were gonna escort people, or we were gonna run off to the oil rig and kill a queen.
Many things were
porque
discussed.
no los dos.
There hasn't been anything yet set in stone, although the plan, at least what Steve was expecting, was to begin a bit of a march toward the Pike Place Market, having you guys escort some people who are relocating there, get them set up with the basics. Can talk about more technical stuff later. I do have in my notes a couple things. I wanted to address the plans for the different areas, like what will be upgraded next, like pending upgrades. I know, like, for example, the docks, the big one right now is the
Power.
power station, among other
Yeah.
things. So things like that to consider. But again, we can get there. Also, too, figuring out, again, I know we had kind of touched on it. I don't know if we have set in stone yet, but the location, which would be the main party base and the features therein. It doesn't have to really change all that much, but if you wanted to, you can make adjustments to it, change the room lineup and stuff. That
We're gonna have to because I don't know when Buchanan's coming back, and
Well,
we would just put his stuff in storage effectively.
yeah, so his room can be repurposed for somebody. Also, too, if you guys even want to have it your main base at the docks, you could have it elsewhere.
I call dibs.
On
a
what?
Shotgun.
On what? Sorry.
On his shotgun. I'm messing with you. Can't even
Oh,
use his shotgun.
he took his fancy shotgun. I mean, he's gonna leave that lying around. That
I
thing
told him
was.
to put his helmet, his funny looking helmet.
I mean, you could. I mean, look, you can have all this stuff, my dude. He's not here to speak for it.
Nah, I'm just messing with you guys.
You
Yeah,
can
no,
have it all.
he definitely would have had his main weapons
You
on
got
his
me
person,
here. Yeah.
among other things. I think that who was it? I think it was Alexi who was given the Pip-Boy from Kelly.
Yeah, I have a Pip-Boy now. It's very fancy. It's not really my color, but that's fine.
Very fancy, very clean. Nice reactive screen, no cracks or anything yet.
Well, what do you guys want to do first? Do you want to go to the oil rig and, you know, kill a little queen, get some stuff, get down tonight? Or do you want to escort people?
I'd like to do the first escort and then queen. We
Escort
murdered a
and then
lot of
queen?
stuff. Yeah, escort and then murder.
All right. I got no problem with that.
In the morning.
Sounds good to me.
How many days did we have before they were wanting the conga?
They're actually ready to go essentially when you guys are done with the meeting at the bookstore with the ghouls. They're essentially packing.
Yeah, they were just
getting
kind of
things
waiting on
ready.
us to have that preliminary meeting.
All right. In the morning, we head out.
It will be the morning. They're anticipating you back before noon to start making that trip. So you are right now still an hour or two away from noon, but they'll be ready to go as soon as you are.
Can I start going around camp and start trying to trade with everybody who will talk to me? Just wanna, I'm a trader. This is what I do.
Later.
Well, that would be a little bit difficult since everybody kind of has everything packed up for moving. You could definitely still harass the individual players as well as making arrangements with the businesses that are staying here at the docks, which is, as far as I can tell, all of them. So Jackie is operating the food and water stand. A man named Boots runs the clothing location. Of course, Randy and Elizabeth run the weapons and armor place. Those would be the main locations that you'd be able to get trade out of now. That and the specific players available. But yeah, the individual denizens at this moment have all of their stuff packed up for moving and are not quite ready or available to
I
bust
suppose
stuff out
I can
for
wait
trade.
until we get to the destination. Wait till we get to the destination and start trading with people there because they've got like shops and stuff that people are trying to set up. I assume.
Eventually, those lists have yet to be set in stone. That is part of the questions to follow up, maybe upon arrival. We'll dive into that some
People
more.
will need things.
Well, yeah,
People
you're going to have
will need
options for
things.
trading.
And
That's
then
all civilization cries about. I
there-
need my things.
there is a little bit of business about haggling and trading. You can technically set your own prices, but there would be kind of an expectation. And then when moods are improved, you get a little bit better price increase. You can also spend action points to improve that exchange in your favor, whether selling or buying.
Oh, so the thing here that says cost is just sort of a suggestion.
That is the base. I can actually, let me see how this looks if I copy paste it into, it'll probably be disjointed. Let's see. It's
Oh, yeah, that'll
legible, I
probably be
guess.
disjointed. Oh, it's not bad, actually. Could have been a lot worse.
make it slightly prettier.
25% listed. Oh, so like I've got dirty water listed as a cost of 5, so it'd be like 1 or 2.
Metabase, yeah.
Okay.
All right, that'll be prettier. So let me go here and hide that one. Oh, did it really do a separate line for? Oh my God, no wonder it looks like crap. It does an actual separate line entry for each sentence.
Oh, right.
That's stupid and annoying. All right, there, that's better. But again,
So,
you can set your own prices and deal with people because you don't have to convince yourself, if that makes
right,
sense.
right. But partially, being a good trader is knowing what people are willing to pay for stuff,
Of course.
and knowing kind of the general market cost of something would be a good idea. So I don't want to show up to somebody and be like, hey, I've got this hairbrush for 20 caps, and have them be like, oh, 20 caps, that's 4 times as much as I was expecting, or something like that, right?
Right.
So if, standard item value when selling is 25% listed value. Oh, when selling, is that somebody selling something to me then, or is that
No, that is generally like if the party were to, for example, if the party goes to Randy and they say, hey, we found all these extra pipe guns, the value of the pipe gun in the book would be discounted to the 25% amount for what he's willing to buy. Like that is from the perspective of a party player selling, if that makes sense.
Yes. So it's kind of like you're selling to a pawn shop, right?
Yep.
They buy it for a lot less, they mark it up for a lot more. So
Yep.
if I'm selling to somebody else, if I'm selling to a different NPC, like a random person, I'm the
Right.
store at that point in time.
Yeah, so that would switch
Um,
around, and that would be where you could give them the option to attempt to haggle and get a discount of the 10% either way. But that
okay,
again would be up to you. If you just don't like somebody, if you're like, I don't trust these kingdom dwellers and they're going to pay
right,
full price plus a tariff and
right,
rename their Gulf, then
okay,
you're welcome to do so. But you don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think a lot of what I will do is more barter and less sale. It'll be hey, can I have this for that sort of a thing, instead of pay me cap.
And bartering actually will get you the closest to actual value without haggling or anything. Like if you have two stacks of goods and you add the prices together, if they even out, cool. But
Yep.
again, if somebody has sentimental attachment towards something, that complicates stuff. As a basis, yes, bartering is more
Right.
straight across.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm good. Let's do this.
So then, just to confirm, you guys are preparing for the movement of individuals from the docks to the Pike's Place Market, where you would then look at what needs to be set up for them and decide on basic amenities, maybe do some trading. And then further down the road, a little bit of talk about possibly facing down that there Queen Mirelurk, who happens to be Mirelurking in the oil rig.
Yeah, she's like a dangling participle on a sentence. And I see the list of survivors that I adjusted around to where people were going to be. So we're taking Steve, Henry, Margaret, Nurse Spot, Betty, stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the kids are coming because I think one of the other people wants to be with the kids?
Carrie has kind of volunteered to be a caretaker. She looks after the old lady. We'll probably be looking
Okay, that's
after the kids primarily, at least
all
until
right.
something more formal is arranged or whatever. Those would be
Sounds like it's
orphaned
a found
kids.
family kind of thing, scenario. So
Yeah,
I'm all for helping out.
certainly. Well, you've done quite a bit in kind of making sure there's a clear way between yourselves and the market. You haven't ventured north of there as of yet, so you don't know what awaits further into Belltown, as it were, in District 12.
Yeah, we
Further
have to go
downtown is
into
pretty well cleared out.
Belltown at some point because of the tower, the radio tower or something.
The beacon is in District 10, which is beyond 12, just a little bit,
Okay.
Yeah, the beacon.
If you
which,
can, talked about it a little bit.
yeah, that's the main goal, one of the main goal objectives of the Vault Dwellers. But you guys, of course, have gotten caught up in survival, and not
Variety of stuff.
everyone was a Vault Dweller, so that may or may not be a priority. The Vault Dwellers haven't really gone at length to discuss with others what the benefits are or potential side effects are of activating the beacon, dealing with all that stuff. But yeah, well, let's see. I wanted to have. Well, let's just figure out first. So from leaving the meeting, you have a new friend named Greg Houston, spelled as it sounds, and
Greg.
Yeah, because I
the
thought the G was a typo for the longest time.
so yes,
No,
preliminary
not a
meeting with the ghouls has gone well. They have actually agreed to meet near the totem pole a couple days time. Give you guys time, of course, to tap into other places in the network, prepare something of a little bit of a sampling, what can be expected as part of the trade network. They're going to do the same, have a little confab there, kind of the introduction. There has not been any agreement to accept strangers into the underground. It's all very touch and go.
We'd come back and let Steve and who's the other? Who's going to be the new Grace? Steve and Grace know because they're going to be the various leaders at each settlement.
Yeah, Steve's priority is going to be not so much the trade network anymore. He's definitely going to be allowing that to fall into the hands of you guys and other area leaderships. His focus is going to be the residential burgeoning, taking care of survivors at Pike's Place.
Yeah, but at the docks, Grace was the one who was going to take over there.
Indeed. So
All
yes,
right.
in going to then the docks there, if there's anything that you guys would like to prepare before leaving, the residents are packed and ready. Sun is trying to creep through, not really succeeding. Very, very
Made all my
light
drugs last
snow
time.
drizzle. Yes, there were some preparations made. Of course, you guys have leveled up recently. Have some special weapon tags. You are entering a new phase of surface life / survival life. I'm very sorry, Coral. You're very quiet, but I thought that might have been a celebratory.
I said more power.
Oh, power!
So then, it's going to clear some of those out since they will no longer be residents. And the lobotomist will stay imprisoned until otherwise addressed.
Someone needs a kidney.
So yeah, if you guys are all prepped and ready to go, those of you who you are protecting are also ready. Um, I'm assuming you guys don't want to dawdle, nor do you want to set necessarily a breakneck pace for people who are carrying. They don't have a lot. They have like some bags and stuff. It's not like they're moving furniture and their whole life story because they're survivors not living a comfortable pre-war situation. So not
How
a
long is the
ton
trek?
of.
A couple miles.
A few hours in.
Yeah, really just a few hours. Make your way up to Pike's Place again. Since there was a restaurant next to an old fire station that had been cleared out. You don't anticipate raider activity, and anywhere on the map, essentially, that you guys have that the green circles encompassing, party has gone out of their way to secure. And there could still be here and there like little pockets, maybe like a raider family or group can meander its way in there, but for the most part, those areas are clear. But also, too, very, very scavenged for as long as there have been survivors. You guys got a lot of salvage out of that square because of there being that super mutant there. That's why you have lists of the books and the different things in your inventories folder.
Yeah, because no one was going there with a super mutant doing its thing.
Exactly. But yeah, so then, preparations having been made, party should be relatively ready to go, unless anyone has anything to state prior to departure.
No, I think we're ready.
I think we're pretty good.
Yep, I'm good. Let's go. Sorry, that was out of character. I'm good. We can get out of here. We can skedaddle.
Ski-daddle, the name of the day, word of the day.
Remember to use that the Wild West game.
Skedaddle. So then, can I please have a survival roll from everyone?
What kind of survival?
Survival?
Survival with perception. Sorry, not endurance.
How dare you?
Son of a bitch.
How to do that?
D20 top left of your character sheet. You can select what skill and what.
Oh, so yeah, I guess you can't select a skill if you do it the other way. That's no
Yep.
fair. Okay. Roll.
Perception, survival.
Yes. But you do want to roll 2d20 for that.
2d20.
Yeah, so
Dink.
rather than rolling the dice at the top, just go down to your skills and you can change the attribute that's tied to the skill.
Does not matter either way. Both were wild failures.
There's the 2d20. Not good. Not good, Bob.
And now back to the studio for the live breakdown as the party gets jumped.
Okay. Sorry, wife asked a question real quick. Let me give you the different dice.
I was fucking kidding.
And
Yep.
yet it manifested. Serves you right for talking.
Be careful what you ask for or allude to.
Your saying of words.
I think that Samuka is the only one who has yet made said roll.
God, it's still fucking up my HP.
Oh, just accept that it's never going to get better.
No, I don't want to accept it. I have more defense than this too.
It's not the smartest of sheets, but it's a pretty smart sheet, which just makes it even worse.
I'll tell you what, it's smarter than the 2024 D&D sheet. It's way smarter than that shit.
Let's not talk about that and all the
I'll agree
errors
with that.
because just
Yeah, that's a sore
about all of
topic
us
from
have-
yesterday. Literally.
Okay, then I'm not the only one. Oh, mush.
No, there's no explanation. Like, why does sometimes during character creation it does weird stuff to the attributes and whatnot? Like, I have to
It
go
gave one
through
of the
and pretty
guys an
much
11 million
restructure.
constitution. It was kind of impressive.
Right.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's wow. He was just very
Wow.
impressed by that particular dude.
Yep, he can survive anything.
All right, we're gonna have 13 Tarask attack the party, and 100 rounds later, he's still alive.
Let's go.
Indeed.
Yep. There
That
are
was
cockroaches that call him God.
survival with perception there for Koro.
Perception, survival. Two D20 or one?
2. Regular skill check.
Boom.
What is it with you fucking A?
I don't know.
Garbage.
We are assuming that everyone has full hit points, luck points, etc. Everyone is fully rested.
Oh, well, then allow me to up my luck.
You will also want to check the place on your character sheet that talks about your state of hunger and thirst. Everybody is well rested, well fed.
Now, I recall a thing coming up. You can spend, was it a luck to act in the initiative order, right?
Yes.
Change your spot in the initiative order.
Yeah, so at the
That's
start
We
of
used
the
it rather
round,
successfully with
after
the
someone
zombie
else is gone,
giant.
you can
Yeah.
spend a point of luck to go right then.
After.
But you can't use it to get extra turns. Essentially, just moves your point from wherever it was to the existing
Yeah.
spot. Yeah.
That's very relevant because I never go, I always typically go last.
So I'm
All
gonna
right.
say
Damn it.
1 and/or 2 Brahmin, because I'm pretty sure I made sleds to people to haul their shit on.
They are not in danger, so why would you put them on the map?
Because
That
they're gonna
actually
be.
is a good
you-
question.
You
I have
guys
left
keep
out.
bringing up shit that's going to get us in trouble. Oh, no.
Tyler, will you be bringing your Brahmin with on this trip?
The amount of self-sabotage. Terrifying.
That thing's making milk back at the settlement. That's its job.
So you will not be bringing your Brahmin with you on this trip?
It's staying where I live, and frankly, the medical clinic is almost as close as a second apartment for him.
No. So long as patients don't need beds, you're welcome to use them. Of course.
No, it's just, he's there a lot of the time. I see Tyler as actually having a workaholic problem.
Bloop. Well,
Should I be near
I
my
know that.
Brahmin?
I know that Greg has his own Brahmin as well, though.
Yes, I do.
yes, that is the one that
And
is
of
present
course-
with you.
Greg would, of course, bring it anywhere. That's Penny right there. She's a sweetheart.
Oh, right. Penny and Amphetamine can get to know each other.
So Smooka is gonna call attention, and I would say probably being closest to Spark, as you guys are the remaining vault dwellers that left Vault 7 oh so long ago. We'll bring up some of the snow disturbed here is disturbed more fresh. Definitely some barely perceptible evidence of you guys having passed by previously. He's going to call that to Spark's attention. And Spark, with your ability to assess and quickly input data without the trappings of human thinking interference,
And
you can
360
tell.
degrees of vision.
Yep. You can tell that there are actually 2 directions of recent travel. You believe there to be something. And again, with your extra success, you can see the passage appears to be singular, but not human. Steve will chime up. Hey, what's the holdup, guys?
Yes, someone has been through here very recently, and I do not think it was human. Or good.
Was
Carrie
it
goes,
big?
I don't know, DM, was it big?
looks like it.
It looks like it. It could have the bigger feet.
Well, I mean, if we don't know,
I think I heard Penny calling my name. I might just go stand myself right behind Penny, for fun.
where does it go? Do we know where it's headed? Are there tracks?
Yeah, we're talking this way, we're talking that way.
The answer is yes to both of those. But there's it's not as if something just went straight. Like there's a little bit of lingering and activity kind of in this square, some back and forth passage.
And we don't recognize the kind of footprint. Well,
It
I
is
guess
not such that will have been encountered, except for Greg may have an inkling if he wants to make another check to have a look at that. Now that it has been pointed out.
Does it look like it's an animal or not?
Yeah, Spark concluded it looks inhuman, just kind of based on size and looking closer.
Oh my God.
Are those claw marks in the footprints? Speculation. So if Mr. Houston would like to make that roll again, you might be able to get some more details.
Oh my God. No.
Make which roll?
The survival of perception.
Ah, yes.
No.
Negative.
You, at best, will be able to concur that it looks big. But from where you're concerned, it's well, luckily it's tracks and not something presently here.
Okay. Well, there's big spooky tracks, so I guess we just should leave this area quickly. Right? That's the best way to get away from big spooky tracks.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
All right, cool. Let's just saunter. Holy shit!
Is that bear on fire?
No,
it
just causes
it's
destruction in its wake.
It's just running from a fire.
It is that dangerous.
Your berries on fire.
Thank you.
Why is there...
When is there?
Who is there?
What is
Why
there?
is there?
We gotta give it a big hug, guys.
It very possibly could use a hug. So you can see the bear up ahead. Now that attention has been drawn to it with a loud outburst. It is sniffing
Oh,
at
I'm
the
sorry,
air,
guys.
pawing,
It would have never. It
looking
would
in
have
your
never seen
direction.
us if I hadn't yelled about it. My bad. Oh, that's right. I have to roll initiative.
Oh God, yeah, I keep reading. I'm like, oh, you're
Actually,
gonna do something.
no, I don't. No, just give me a fucking 10 or whatever.
Yeah, you can either roll or take it.
I'll
I'll
just take a
take
10.
it. Whatever
Because
it is,
I
yeah.
always roll shitty anyway. So
Yeah,
I'll just take
it's,
the 10.
the only result is lower than a 10 or a 10. So it's like, might as well just take the 10. I can use luck if I want better initiative. Doop-a-doo. Oh, wait. What would happen if I gave a Yao Guai drugs? Hold on. I'm doing some extreme philosophical considerations right now. What happened? Like, I could make him smarter. I could like just straight up like I could inject him with mentats, and then he become a smart bear, and then we could have just a sophisticated discussion with him.
Or you could turn him into a super predator.
No, I don't want to do that when he's currently trying to predate us. You know, it seems like a bad choice.
Good. Let me circle right back around to that problem.
Oh, I could make him more charismatic. Turn him into straight up yogi. Hey, boo, boo, boo.
I think he probably considers himself fairly charismatic at this point. Hey, look, I drug all this dead meat here. Eat up.
Ooh, wait, what does this do?
Those lines
I
are
have
denoting the zone thing.
Okay. Like, you're like a college girl who just can't push the button or can't stop pushing the button.
And you can see at this exact moment where the DM gave up.
Yeah, well,
Wait.
like
That's either a
scaling,
zone or an EKG
scaling the
machine. I'm
building,
not really sure
entering
which.
the building, that sort of thing. Like the building itself is more complicated. That's why it has jaggedness to it.
Wait, the building is a bear?
Well,
so
let's
confused.
not go that far.
All right. What is this thing doing other than growling at us aggressively?
It's not yet growling at you, but it is sniffing and pawing at the air and lumbering in your direction. It has definitely caught a scent of something interesting. Somebody yelled, which of course echoes through the quiet streets, the direction, so its attention has been caught. And it's meandering toward you, but it hasn't yet taken into a gallop.
Oh, okay.
Greg has decided to hide himself behind the butt of this old world vehicle.
Oh, yeah. So to me, it looks like an old ice cream truck almost. Slash camper that would be tied to the back of a truck or something tied on
That's
top.
just like, I've heard that about Greg, always hiding behind the butt.
Yup.
So the
So-
Yao guy is meandering. It is just on the edge of the other zone, has not yet entered through, but is definitely piqued in its
Intrigued.
interest. That means that Smooka, among the party, will be able to respond and act first. Muha.
Alright. Alright, Alexei, I dare you to go touch it.
Okay.
I'll stand here with my glunk ready to shoot at some point.
Why don't you just shoot now?
No, I'm waiting. I dare you to touch it.
I'll touch it.
I mean, I'm going to touch it. That's kind of what I do, is touch things very aggressively. Not in a weird way, but in like a, well, I guess violence is kind of a weird thing. Anyway, so it's not,
I have to do it because I told you to.
sure, give me a luck and I'll go next.
Alright.
Unfortunately, you can't share luck, but you can share inspiration.
Does it work that way?
I believe in you. There we go.
Wait, there's got to be a feat that allows you to share luck. Take it, and then you can continue doing this all the time.
I already have 2 feet though.
Oh, hey-oh. Not after that joke, because I'm going to cut one of them off.
Oh shit.
I am very close to... he leaves. Wow. Well, so he doesn't do anything, dares me to do something, and then fucks off.
Yeah,
What a companion this guy.
Alright.
All right, well, I'm going last, so everybody else gets a chance to do something first.
I believe in you guys. It's not gonna fight us, right? It's not aggressive. We're good. Until Lexi touches it.
You should go. You should go ask it if it's aggressive.
I'll go ask it if it's aggressive.
Sounds amazing.
I think that's what Greg is for, right?
Let's go.
The diplomat of the group.
Yeah, you should definitely go up there with Penny. I'm sure it'll go great.
I see 0 issues.
Okay, who's next? Smoocha has done his turn.
After Smooka, it shall be Greg. And Smooka, you're welcome to like ready a weapon or something, or communicate strategy if you like, or simply slink backwards away from the danger zone and await what happens. Up to you.
Oh, that sounds like a great thing to play right now.
I do
But
ready
Greg
for-
will be next in the order to follow after Smooka's choices.
Well, if Greg is up, Greg is not one to start fights, and so I will pull out my throwing knives, and I will ready that so that I can jump in when it is most convenient. I'm staying hidden behind the butt of this here old world vehicle, though. The one that sold ice cream at one point in time. Y'all are too young to know what ice cream are, but it was delicious.
Yeah, colored snow treats don't sell as well in this area. Well, Greg is posting up, ready for self-defense, encouraging Penny to keep quiet, as much as Carrie is encouraging the kids to keep quiet, amongst all of the civilians who, out of game note, have tokens. Mr. Spark, you've seen 2 of your companions shirking away from confrontation.
Mm. And I hold an action to attack it if it becomes aggressive.
And are you making yourself visible, or are you trying to kind of quietly maneuver yourself over by that building?
I'm gonna say quiet, but I don't think it's gonna work out like that.
You're welcome to try, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out like that because it's never worked for Sparks like that.
Well, I would like to point out your attribute plus skill total less than 10, so it is a difficult thing. But you do have a bright dandelion on your head and a bright flaming torso underneath that helps you be propulsed. A little bit of a hey, look at me. But I will accept your ready to action should the Yao Guy become more aggressive.
Let's not forget the flaming sword.
The flaming sword, if you have that readied and turned on, then yes, it too would be a beacon of hey, look at me. Mr. Alexi, you are up next, sir.
I don't understand why everyone is pussyfooting around this thing. I'm going to shoot it. Before I do that, however,
welcome to do so.
I'm going to take some jet. Just a nice little, right in the neck. Ooh, tasty. Hold on. I can
So that would
post for you
be
what
a
jet does.
minor action to
Yes,
just dip a
it
cannon real quick.
is a minor action. It's got a brief duration, but I have double the time.
Of course, because of your perks.
right here. Is that there? It goes. There it posts. So I guess it'll last me 2 rounds. Is that because brief is just 1 round, right?
So the way that the extra actions work is that an additional minor action costs 1 AP. An additional major action, like an attack, would cost 2 AP. So that reduces that
to 1 AP.
Yeah, and then it does increase difficulties.
If
Let's
I'm
see,
addicted.
whenever you're not under, with the addiction roll, which is another thing you don't have to worry about.
Nope, don't have to worry about it. So, yeah, I'll do that. So, does that mean I can take an additional bonus action for free?
Yes, you have a free minor action, and then you haven't spent your major action. If you want
Yeah,
2 major actions, it'll only cost you 1 AP net.
perfect. Then I will use my second bonus action to aim, which
Ooh.
gives me bonuses
Yes,
of
you
some
get to
kind.
re-roll your D20 on your first attack roll.
Amazing. And then I will shoot it with my harpoon gun. Yes, I will shoot it with my harpoon gun.
Just going to put the lightning bolt of action points here. Upper
Did
left-hand
it?
corner. Right now the party has maxed out at 6.
Oh, there we go. I have a bunch actually. I'll just use one of my own here. So I'll roll an additional die for that. Submit. Oh boy.
Nice.
Oh boy.
That is a lot of extra successes. The young
Okay,
guy
so
has a defense of 1.
okay,
4 AP there, bud.
so yeah, it's 4 AP, which I cannot turn into damage though, right? Because that's only for melee attacks. Unless I use extra ammunition.
Extra ammo, yes, is the way to.
Yeah.
So that is based on the fire rate. Can add a number of dice equal to said fire rate. It takes extra ammo, but will give you extra dice of damage.
I have a fire rate of 2. But I'm not going to use extra. That's fine. All right. Well, I can't give. So I've just wasted 2 of these because that maxes out my action points, and I can't put any more in the party, right?
True, but you could, for example, you could spend an extra 1 to double down on, like, commit to having that extra attack.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if I can do that preemptively, then I will spend one of them on my second attack for sure.
All right.
All right. Cool.
Do bear in mind that for extra major actions, it does increase the difficulty of stuff by 1.
Yep. I have
Originally get that.
so even spending all 3, even loading back up my action points, I still have 2 to spare. So I'll spend 1 on the extra action, and I'll spend 1 on an extra dice.
Okay, cool.
All right. No additional dice. Nope. None of that. Just submit. Oof. Oof. Oof.
Wow.
Piercing. That is a lot of piercing and vicious, and
oh my god. That's 11 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 19 damage with piercing 1.
Wow.
Holy
I'm
shit.
very impressed. That
I'm sure the bear is
pretty
too at
crazy.
this point.
Can I please
All
have
right.
you roll a d20?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, location, right?
Please and thank you. It technically has a torso, head, and limbs, so I'll use the regular.
That's definitely a leg.
Well, if it's only 3, it might be a torso.
No, it's a 14. It's definitely a leg. I could see you completely tearing a leg off of it.
That would be funny. Or just pinning it to the ground. That would also be funny.
I suppose it is a harpoon gun.
I realized I need to always have at least 2 of these harpoons that are tied together, so I could shoot something and then shoot like a wall,
Mm,
so I could pin stuff to things. I only thought of it at the start of this combat, and I was like, I should do that more often.
that is a very good idea.
We did make good use of it. We
I
absolutely
know.
did.
Well, yeah, but we set that up ahead of time. I could literally construct tethers in real time, especially if I'm high on jet.
We. So there is a
All right, well,
large roar that is going to emit as that pierces into its leg.
At this
And
point, Doc is
amazing.
finally paying attention. Like, what? Oh, it's a bear.
now, of course, things happen a little bit differently for creatures. Because it can't really perform any well. It has legs instead of an arm.
I just figure the ones closer to the head are the arms. If you rolled that, and the ones closer to the butt are the legs.
Yes, that is what I'm doing. So he is going to be stuck
Annoyed.
prone with that shot.
You're
Where's... There it is. So it takes a major action for him to even move. Farther range has an increased difficulty, but close range has a decreased difficulty to hit. Doesn't have any cover, so that sucks to be him. A loud, loud roar is going to emit that echoes out. Everyone in the party will hear a roar in response coming from, on this map's orientation, the west.
wow. It's a really severe echo here, boys. I better shoot it again.
Not moved.
So, oh man, the API isn't working. It's not showing the. Let me mark down here that he has that injury from the shot.
And then I have to use a luck to reroll. Is it just the 1 dice?
Yes, 1 point to reroll a d20. You can also use a point of luck to reroll 3 damage dice.
All right. I will reroll that complication.
Yeah, and you know too, it is a difficulty of 2 to hit him because of this being your extra attack.
Right. Okay. I need wait. Quick roll. Endurance. Heavy weapons. There you go. Roll. Oof. All right. So that's 2 successes.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Ring ding a ding a ding. Damage. No additional. That's a lot of damage again.
Goodness gracious.
That's 15. So
The bears have a bad fucking day.
he has 19 persistent and 15 persistent, FYI.
Oh, it just, yeah, definitely triggers the persistent. So he'll take the weapon addition on the next turn for another additional turns equal to the effects rolled. For the rest of his life, he's going to be bleeding out with this terrible, egregious harpoon wound. Well, now 2 egregious. Can you please roll for me another d20?
Roll a d20. Yeah, let's see where this one goes.
Because you hit the front right leg, which caused him to collapse. And that one technically hits the same place. That leg is pretty well messed up. That's going to come into the shoulder. That leg is never going to work again unless somebody decides to provide healing for it.
Oh, yeah, maybe after I've asserted my dominance, I will go and heal him and he will become my pet.
Right.
I will have a pet bear.
So it is pawing at the air. Its aggressive growl has now become a little bit sad sounding because, again, he's just minding his own business and you just ambushed him for no reason. And obliterated his leg and paw.
Very rude, by the way.
It
All right,
is
well,
kind of
okay.
growling and sputtering, clawing at the air.
I
Something
might
that's
be
close
basic,
to it could be dangerous,
but
but from a distance, not at all.
as soon as Penny rounded around that freaking car, this Yule guy was gonna just get absolute like hunger eyes and start drooling. Don't try to trick me like that.
All right. Well, Alexei has very, very effectively interrupted the Yao guy's passage toward y'all. But it's still living, still growling. The other growl that you heard coming from the west has yet to be addressed. But Mr. Doc, you are up next. You can very plainly see from your vantage point that the Yao guy is a little bit on its side, stuck in the snow, bleeding out. You can see the red starting to pool around. Bad day to be a bear out on these streets.
Can I see over here?
From your vantage point, you will have heard the echo of the roar in that direction, but it cannot see anything yet.
All right. I really don't think I have to worry about the bear that I can see. It's to move one zone as a minor action.
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming as I round the corner, I'll see it. I'm going to be removing my electro scalpel and gonna do some surgery. Yeah, and I'll pay for an extra die. I got some action points here.
Oh, are you wanting to attack that creature?
Yeah.
So he is in another zone across. You will need another minor to zip into the next zone.
Oh, well, I was just trying to get up to the line. I'll spend an action point to move me into the second zone, so that way it doesn't take another thing for that. Just make sure I've got everything updated on that and that. 5, so that's down to 4, down to 3 for the dice. Okay. And then it's a melee weapon attack. Add 1 die. And then since it's only 1 to hit him, I'll use the success from there to add a damage die to the attack.
Of course.
Okay. And then for damage dice, I just have to roll the face dice next to where it says Doc's Electrified Scalpel, right?
Indeed.
Okay. And then that's going to be 1 extra die. Well, that's shitty.
But you do have some piercing.
So since there's 3 blanks, I'm going to try. I'll drop a luck point down to roll those, right? I can do a thing.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so let me hit the face dice at the top, and then it's 3 combat dice. All right, well, it's 6 damage with 3 piercing, and it's persistent, so that's a start. And
Action there would. And can I please get a?
oh
Well,
yeah,
there's
the
not an
D20 for the
injury
location.
caused, but yeah, I still want to know location there.
6 damage, no injury.
Not on these guys.
Okay. Don't worry, I'm similar, so I was just curious.
Yeah, the big special ability trait
It's a chest
requires
wound.
a critical hit on 7 or more damage
It's not
rather
too
than 5.
different from me, so no, I understand. All right, then I will be going for a second attack because I've got 3 action points left. So spend 2 for the secondary major action, spend 1 for the extra dice. So now I'm down to 0 myself.
All right.
Not -1, just 0.
Difficulty of 2 for second strike upon now very angry Yao Guai.
Okay. And I keep forgetting that I had that. We're going to add additional die. Hey! I will put an extra die of damage back into that attack. And let's try to, hopefully it'll ask me if I want, yes, additional dice is 1. There we go. Please don't suck as bad. Really? I'm just not,
It
me.
will
Okay.
suck as exactly as bad. It doesn't suck, I wouldn't say. It's not bad.
I'm going to spend 1 more luck point because
Get those 3 extra blanks.
since they're there and I can make use of them, might as well give it a try. All right, so that went up to 7. And a total of 3 persistent, 3 piercing on that particular strike.
Can you please roll for me your d20 for location?
Oh, yep, sorry, forgot.
That's right.
12, not the same location. One was a hit to the chest, main body, and this one's to an arm of some kind.
You guys are really hating on their front paws and legs there, guys.
Hey, we have a right to bear arms. They don't.
Yeah, nothing ever said about the bear's right to bear arms. The fact that they have them, it just seems like a mockery of nature.
Yeah. Or my
All
arms.
right. Well, good news is it will be more difficult for him to reach your companions and the innocents that are in your tow. Bad news is that, well, you're the only target for him, so we'll see how that goes.
And that is my complete turn.
Roar. What is your defense, sir?
For Tyler?
For Tyler, yes.
I think it's only, I think most people are a 1 unless, like, Buchanan was a 2, I think, because he was like super dexterous or some shit like that.
Indeed. Being super dexterous will give you that. Roar. Well, that's special.
Wow. So apparently everyone can roll shitty. That's my takeaway.
I have terrible luck in rolling dice. That is a thing. So it will take him major action to even be able to move. A couple of barbs sticking out of his front leg. He is going to go ahead and do that. Smooka, it is your turn.
It's running away. What the fuck?
I mean,
Shoot it.
he got messed up really bad and suddenly
Yeah,
ambushed.
but
He needs to collect himself and maybe try not to die.
Alexi was supposed to go touch him though. That didn't happen. Alright. I'll shoot it, I guess. Let's see.
He's 2 zones away. Is that going to be a problem? Do you need to move up a zone?
No, I mean my weapon isn't a medium. Is that good?
How much damage does he take from the persistent?
That gets essentially re-rolled on the new turn.
On his turn or on my turn?
Just as the next. So I would have that come round on your turn.
Okay.
Does it look hurt or no?
The one that's running away, yeah, there's a huge trail of blood that follows in the direction which it leaves, and it's limping very, very heavily.
I think Alexi's got it then. All right, I'll move this way into this zone to shoot this one. Did I do it? I think it did. Boy. 8.
So that is going to hit. You will bank an AP. Again, since he'd been knocked prone by Doc's strike, being further away is a little more difficult to hit him, but you've got it. And then you've got 8 damage with piercing and persistent. Can you please roll for me a d20?
Right, d20. Right, 3.
Yep, that's a chest.
There
My
we
first strike
have
hit was the chest.
persistent damage happening. A torso injury gives them kind of a form of persistent damage. And you've got enough to break through with your piercing. That bear, perhaps not having as bad a day as the other one, it seems it's about to get worse.
All I can do. Go rag, it's your turn.
So your energy blast is going to puncture and sear some fur, but not completely cauterize the wound. He is still bleeding out of it. Pretty sure you guys could take 100 bears, but Mr. Houston will be up next if that is the end of Smooka's actions.
It is the end of my turn.
Alrighty then. Well, Mr. Houston.
Well, seeing that that one bear's running away, I think I'll let him be, and the other bear seems distracted because he's got a guy right next to him. So I think I'm going to take advantage of this situation and maybe get in a dig while I have the opportunity. And I can. This is literally my first combat in this sort of format, so bear with me. I apologize. Bear with me.
Grunch.
What do I have to do to move, say, into this zone?
So there's a minor action to move within your zone or into another, like into the
Okay.
next zone, as it were.
Okay.
And
So
then
I'm going to move.
as far as the ranges go, like with your weapons, close range is going to be the zone that you're in. Medium will be the next one over. Long is 2, etc.
Okay. So if I'm throwing my knives, is that a medium range?
Right now, he is at medium.
But my knives, the ideal range for my knives is medium. Yes.
Wanted to check that.
2-shot throwing knives. Does not say anything for my range.
I'm not seeing that either. Well, that's kind of annoying. Why doesn't it have... Because it's not melee, I feel like
Isn't like a
ranged
throwing one?
weapons should have an ideal range in their profile.
Yeah, they have a throwing thing.
Yeah, they're throwing knives. Yep.
Okay.
Without anything super obvious, I'm just going to say, yeah, medium is ideal. 'Cause I know if you
Okay.
try to do ranged attacks within reach, it increases your difficulty and stuff, which you don't have to worry about. So we'll just assume medium for now, because it's supposed to be
Okay.
at some sort of range.
There we go. Throwing knives, page 119. Range thrown C. Close.
Oh, it is close. I don't know why it wouldn't show that on like the actual weapon description of all the things.
Tomahawk is also close, and a javelin is medium.
So close, then I would have to be in the same zone as the target.
Yes, but you can still throw
Yeah,
it. It just
you
has a
can still
plus
throw it.
one difficulty.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just got a +1 difficulty. Okay. So I will. You know what? I'll attempt it. I have a lot of luck. How would I use my luck to benefit me here?
So luck really benefits you. Besides stealing that initiative, luck helps you. You could change the base attribute for your attack to luck. So if you have a higher luck than your governing skill for the thrown weapons, that can be advantageous. You would
Yes.
want to use luck after either wanting to reroll a d20 or extra damage. To get extra dice beforehand, you would want to spend action points.
Okay. I have 0 action points, but the group has extra action points. Yeah.
Yeah, group has 6.
Correct. Party
Yes.
pool is
Okay.
at 6.
Also, I don't know if it was taken into account, but I have the perk inspirational. Because you lead by example, the maximum number of action points the group may save is increased by 1. Did we already do that?
No,
No, but we know it now.
No.
party pool's at 7.
Well, the party pool will still be at 6, but it has a now increased amount available to be put into pool. So that can grow slightly further.
Okay. So then, let's say I want to throw my knives.
Mhm.
Do I click on the knives themselves under weapons under core?
Yes, and it will open up the attack. Now, before committing to that, you do want to see if you want to purchase more d20s for the attack roll. It would be 1 AP for 1 dice, 3 AP for 2, or 6 for 3 extra dice.
Okay, I will start with a 1 AP, one dice,
Alrighty,
and I will take it from the group
done
pool.
and done.
So I just click 1 additional dice here,
Yep.
Yes.
and then submit.
That looks successful. Oh, that's
Very
a
successful.
hit. You got
So-
2
cool.
AP back.
So then the other thing I was looking at is one of my perks is better criticals. When you inflict 1 or more points of damage to an enemy, you may spend 1 luck point and automatically inflict a critical hit, causing an injury. That happens after I roll the damage then?
Yes, because you do have to get through the resistances to see if you cause damage.
Okay.
Because you could have an unfortunate roll with no happy faces and no bullet holes, and thus no damage.
Yeah, I've been not rolling great for damage. So I
Okay.
would, if you wanted extra damage dice, or no, wait, it's a thrown thing, so he doesn't get to use those.
Yes, he can. He can use AP for an additional damage dice on thrown attacks and melee attacks. with
And
a
you got 2 from
maximum
that
of 3.
attack.
Yes, and my throwing knives are 2 shots, so technically I've thrown 2 of them. So what do I do then? Do I click the little face next to the throwing knives?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Additional dice. I got 4 successes. Do I get to keep any of those action points now, or move them over to the
Yes,
Right, that's what we were
they would
talking about.
essentially
go to you first if you choose to keep them because it was your roll. So you have 2 extra AP that you can store, that you can use immediately, or you can give back to the party if you like. But you could use those immediately for an additional 2 dice of damage if you desired. You could also use them for an additional major action if you wanted to take another attack after this one. That you could decide after everything is said and done too. You don't have to necessarily commit to that right now.
Okay. For now, I will store the 2. So then no additional dice, or yeah, no additional dice. Okay, submit. 3 damage. That doesn't sound like very much. Is it? Should I do that again? I did throw 2 knives, right? Is that, or is that already calculated into that?
It should be calculated, but I don't know if it is counting toward giving you the benefit. Let me double check. That perk came from the Wanderer's Guide because it is a legendary weapon perk. Let me see the semantics on that real quick. So it gains vicious and inflicts extra damage. So you have vicious on there. I feel like the damage should be more than what it's listing, unless I'm crazy.
Well, 5 damage is what a serrated machete also does.
But being a 2-shot, I feel like it should be more, no?
Yeah, it does
No,
automatically add damage dice to it.
yeah, because I have throwing knives on my sheet, because I have some, and the damage is 3.
Okay, so it definitely has the +2 then for that. Okay, so it is correct. It is just throwing knives, of course, are going to be less impressive than a harpoon gun. That's all.
Yes.
Right,
Which
so
is fine. But now, can I? Does it make sense then to spend that luck point to do the better criticals?
so
Oh, I would
not
absolutely
only
spend
that,
it.
but you can also spend a luck to reroll any number of damage dice because you do have a couple of blanks there. You could increase that as such. Right now, you're looking actually at a total of 4 damage because the smiley face gives you an extra one because of vicious there. And then piercing is going to let you break through some resistance.
Yeah, but if you have a perk that lets you just spend a luck and get a critical regardless of whether you penetrate or did the required amount of damage, then I would spend it.
Yeah. I think I will do that. Yes. Do I just type in now that I have 9 luck, and then
On your character sheet, you can track how many luck points are spent as opposed to your pool. There's a, yeah.
yeah, it just says like 9 out of 10 or whatever now. Okay.
So
And
yeah,
then
so
what
that
do
gives
I
you the
do?
effects of an injury. Not extra damage, but definitely the effects of an injury. It currently has a torso and arm injury already. So it's having a terrible day. If you can please roll for me a d20, that will determine the location of the body that would be hit.
Just 1d20.
Si, senor. You guys absolutely hate the front legs.
Well, if they would face the other way, maybe we'd hit the other direction, or we'd hit the other side.
You could aim for the butthole. Bullseye! Nailed it.
So you will be keeping him pinned. A couple of daggers sticking out of the furry flesh. These are not the bear hide Yao Guy of Fallout fame, as they're in the northwest with lots of snow, so losing their fur not evolutionarily advantageous to them. But they're still massive. So with that being done, you will have successfully struck. If he hadn't already had an injury to that leg, you would have caused him to be prone. Makes him harder to move and easier to hit from up close, etc., etc. You may, if you like, at this point, spend the 2 AP to take an additional major action. It will increase the difficulty of tasks by 1 because of the extra effort, but you're welcome to do so if you like. There are still 5 party action points, then a couple that you've earned for yourself, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I'll that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. Greg has entered the fray. Smuka is sharing the zone there. You guys piling up next to vehicles. Spark over by the building there will be next to Act, and they have seen the Yao Guy limping very slowly away, leaving a trail of blood. Can easily be tracked and found. If you wish to pursue, though you're not obligated to. What would you like to do, Mr. Spark?
Spend an AP, get an extra minor action to
Closing that distance.
go 2 zones.
Bzz, bzz.
And then whack on a smacking because he's suspecting me.
Ah, so you've moved over to assist Doc. So because you're up close, you had a difficulty of 1. You get to bank all 3 of those.
Nice.
He's a
And
very
slaughter.
large target that is not able to move much out of the way of your slaughter, unfortunately for him.
I'm going to spend all 3.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow. So you also have some piercing.
We really hit the arms.
We do.
But at least it's the other one this time.
Ooh.
Oh. That is a... And the face. The arm and the face.
Oh, wow.
Because I got my double crit.
Yeah, about that. So how would you like to describe the bloody mess that you create that used to be Mr. Yogi here? Oh, the API isn't working. No happy blood spurts. There's your X.
I cleanly cut the head off. So I can mount that bitch on a wall.
He's just hacking and slashing, guys.
Decapitation. I'm just catching up on gifts there. So, Mr. Spark, will that be your turn in eliminating the Yao Guy to completion?
Yes. Because I can't move anymore. I ran after the other one too.
Well, you are probably coated in a new, fresh set of paint, if you're into that sort of thing.
Always.
You can't see my happy enthusiasm, but yeah, you're constantly splattered. I always picture Spark because of like the color and the shape and everything of in Starship Troopers when he blows up the bug and like half of him is covered in the goo. That's always how I think of Spark looking.
That's fair.
Well, Mr. Alexei, you are up. You have seen your quarry limping away. One of your companions have taken care of another threat round the corner, slightly out of your view.
How much does it take to move 2 zones?
It would be just 1 action point to get that extra minor. Now, if you're not doing anything else, you could, with a major action, make that and then just take a minor over there. But if you're wanting to still make an attack, then you'd want to spend an AP to get that extra minor.
Okay, well, I have Jet still active.
Indeed.
So it's free to take an extra minor action for me.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
So I can just go here?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Are you sure
I
it's
am...
there, though?
What?
No, I'm not messing with you. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's 100% the thing that's going to happen. All right, well, then I will punch him. Yeah, and sure, why not? Extra dice sounds fun. Always a thing that sounds fun. Delicious.
Vault
So
opener.
let's see. There's literally no reason not to. So I spent 1 AP for an extra dice, which would put me at 5. So I'll bank a dice. That puts me back at 6. And then I will spend 2 dice on damage, and I'll spend my 3rd dice on a second attack. So damage +2. Submit.
Oh shit.
And then I need to give you a location.
You're seeing 3 and you have 5 dice.
Oh, and by the way, unless I say otherwise, I am always aiming for the head from now on. Now that I have a freaking Vault Boy.
Oh, I will definitely forget. So yeah, if you have VATS and you're making a called shot, definitely please always remind me, because I will
I
definitely.
think I will anyway, so I don't know that it matters.
Yeah, 1 to 2 is a headshot.
So, how would you like to eliminate this threat?
I kill this thing like they kill cows at a slaughterhouse. I just walk up to it, stab it in the forehead. I'm like, okay, I think he's dead.
Put him down with a bolt.
And I'm going to drag him back. I would like to try to retrieve my harpoons. I don't know if I have to roll for that or if I can, what the options are.
So it's actually going to be pretty easy to retrieve the harpoons. To carry the husk of the body, I will need an athletics check.
All right, let's go.
It is dead weight. It is massive. It is bigger than you. It'd be a difficulty of 2.
Okay, hold on.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go over to the one that I threw my knives at and collect my 2 knives.
You are able to do so.
Yeah, let's check. Right, okay. Woo.
You'll see Doc in his power armor and Spark covered in goo, standing triumphantly over it.
I hit the loudspeaker on my power armor and just turn around and look over at the group and tell them, I think we got lunch, mate.
I don't care about this complication. It's fine. Whatever.
The complication is that the arm falls off and it's left behind. You won't realize it until you get him back, so you'll have to go all the way back to go fetch it. Now, on the other positive side, it is on the direction in which you're going, so you will pass by it again here shortly.
I was gonna make a nice, I was gonna stuff this thing, and now I think the taxidermy is ruined, boys.
No, we can put it back on.
We also have 2 spares over here.
Oh, we should put one of we should give it 2 left arms, and then people will be really confused.
You might have to, for how much you have mangled the collective right front arms of both of them.
Are they even the same color?
they're close enough, yeah. Now, Greg, you have heard rumors of creatures like these that are even more massive and white in fur. You are pleasantly surprised to find that these are the lesser, tamer, less scary brown versions.
Wait, are you trying to tell us we just killed somebody's cubs?
I think that's what he's saying.
Oh
Not
shit, we gotta get out of here.
necessarily the cubs, but there's just another, and this is just for Greg. He can share with the rest of the party or
Right.
not, but he would be aware of there being another species that is scarier, bigger.
Yeah, these ones
Old world
are
would have called
quite a
them
bit
polar
smaller
bears.
than I thought that they would be, and a bit darker. You know, I thought that these were supposed to be like bigger and white, but you know, these are interesting, I suppose.
Okay.
I'll help drag the other bear back over because I'm intending to, assuming that we can probably butcher the meat.
That is a fair assumption. I will need a survival test with endurance with a difficulty of 1.
Okie dokie.
I can help with that.
What was it? I'll assist whichever bear doesn't have an assistant already.
I would need at least 1 primary roller per bear, and then 1
I'll
person is
primary
welcome
roll
to
for my
assist.
bear.
I can primary roll for my bear if nobody else has it.
I got it. I only needed
Please.
1 success.
All right.
All right.
Okay. I'll
Extra
just roll for the
successes,
other
of
bear.
course, for action points is always available.
Hmm. I've got action points for days. Why not? Let's go. Oh, look at that.
Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, so assisting is optional, but if anybody would like to, there is the roll to assist button. Throws on an extra dice, can get you extra AP. Both of you are successful scavenging the Yao guy. If I can please have both of you roll 2 combat dice, that would be great.
Cool.
To get an idea of how much meat we can get out of it.
Si, senor.
Okay.
Dice to submit.
And I was going to
Ooh.
say too, you can still, because it is rolling combat dice, you can still air it. Let me start over. Words. You can still spend luck to re-roll the dice. You can still spend AP to get extra dice. You're not technically doing damage, but I would allow you to spend the AP to try to get extra portions.
So,
All right.
question.
Yes, sir.
We got 5 portions. Now you said
Sure.
these Yao actually have fur, right?
Si, senor.
So do we also get pelts out of this?
That would be that would increase the difficulty of your butchery attempt in order to keep pristine the pelt. Short answer is yes, absolutely. It just
Oh,
We
makes
don't
it
care about
harder
pristine.
to.
We just care about longer strips and stuff, and they can stitch them together.
Yeah. They're a bit mangled, but I guess we have pelts if
Oh
that's
yeah,
okay.
they're very mangled. They would be like pieces of pelts if you don't go out of your way to try to butcher it
All
cleanly.
right. Well, next
Well,
time
We could
when
fur line some clothes, and then they don't care what they look like on the inside. Just stitch it together and put an outer lining on it.
if we find a big white one, though, we got to make it fancy, and then we can make somebody a cape.
All right, so each damage point essentially is a portion of Yao Gai meat. Anytime you roll an effect, you get common materials, which would come into their being. That would be the pelts and stuff. I'm just allowing it for now because it's cool. It's your first time butchering one of these creatures, but in the future, either higher difficulty or getting the effect on the roll will help to yield that. Now, I don't know if you guys want to add that to the party inventory.
Yeah, we can add it to the party. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm typing it now.
All right, great.
It helps if I spell things properly.
Love a little bit of bear meat.
So yeah, you can drag Yao Gai meat onto sheets very quickly. They are irradiated. The meat is as a base. You can make ribs or roast out of it. Yao Gai meat by itself, just kind of consumed, will be 9 hit points healed. Has a cost value of 85. Very valuable meat. And again, irradiated before you cook it. For those of you who like to eat irradiated
raw.
/ raw meat, which is one of you. Hopefully just one of you.
Reg, any of this interesting for you over here? Because we're going to try to cook that and make it not irradiated, but do you want me to just cut it off?
I could always store a little bit for myself in the future. I think, yeah, I'll take a steak or two. Yes, please. Thank you very much, sir.
Up to you guys how many portions you wish to share. You have 5 total.
Give one to Greg so that he can make use of it as his dietary concerns are.
I'll mark it off.
I'm gonna store it with Penny. How do I just type in someplace add meat?
Oh, I think you can
drag
go to
onto
the
your
compendium and
sheet
drag it.
1 Yao Gai meat. And there you go. Done and done.
Oh, there we go. Sweet.
So that is going to be under your food and drink. Now at the very bottom. I think I alphabetized it when I had previously. Oh, but dirty water's out of order. Anyway, yeah, you have a lot of food things for sale. And just to note, you can consume non-irradiated stuff just fine to satiate hunger. It's just that radiated stuff doesn't harm you and in fact heals.
Yes.
Just as a bonus. So yeah, I didn't want you to think you could only consume irradiated stuff because that would be inaccurate. Spark is
Sounds good.
The radiated stuff's got that sweet, sweet MSG though.
Sweetest MSG you've ever seen.
You don't even know.
So this area here has been very heavily scavenged out. So it would be a difficulty of 3 in order to get anything else of value, as everything has been pretty well stripped. You may be able to find something. That will be a survival roll with perception, difficulty 3, in order to draw more out of a already very scavenged area. Again, anything in that green circle on the map, which includes the path between the docks and the Pike Place Market, has been very heavily torn asunder.
So I could just roll 2d20 perception survival.
Yep.
And see if anything comes up. I suppose you said the difficulty is 3, so I would need 3 successes.
Correct.
Which is possible but unlikely with 2 dice.
Yes. Of course, rolling a critical, that's rolling underneath your governing skill. If you have it tagged, can be better, but that's if you have it as a tag.
Okay.
You can use an AP to add a dice, right?
And you can use AP, as always.
I have 2 of those, so maybe I'll use an extra dice. I'll use an AP.
Well, not just the AP, but on the other side of it, luck. Like for right now, you've got that there complication, which could be anything.
Oh yeah.
If you use a luck point, you can re-roll that.
I would love to do that. Yes.
But you don't have a complication like we find the 3rd bear.
Don't give me ideas. All right, you're clear.
More
100%. Brian, that was 100% what I was hoping for. I was going to be like, well, let me copy paste this token here. And you have found the nest. Congrats. And he's going to attack you. But you don't have to worry about that. Because you lucked out of it.
Out.
Not that my assistant is helping very much.
Yeah, I had
Unfortunately,
failures.
there has to be a success, at least one success, in order to contribute assistance.
Okay. Never mind.
That's okay.
You also did not find the nest.
Great effort spent. Definitely admire the effort. Alas, here there are not extra caps, anything valuable to be found on this block.
What are you talking about? We actually managed to get through an entire combat, and none of the people we're escorting got hurt.
Why
That
do you keep
is
saying things
That
like
is
this?
success.
You
Yeah.
were just inviting fucking catastrophe every time you talk. I swear to God.
And no, every time you guys roll, you fight catastrophe. Don't let Smooker roll shit.
Like the best roller of dice, guys. You don't even know. Like professional roller of dice.
It's like you're sleeping with the 20 on the 20-sided die.
Was that not what you were supposed to do?
Right?
Well, but
From what
he's
I
so
understand,
lucky
no.
that it never sticks.
Ew.
No, lucky like it doesn't stay with the negative result because of his ability. I didn't mean that the dice is sticky.
I was going
wasn't
to say
going
condom,
there
but
at all.
whatever, you know.
No, definitely wasn't taking that route. That's none of my business.
That's what she
Should-
said.
What you do with the D20 is up to you.
The huddling group of survivors bearing the cold. Today again is far less severe than most days. Barely a light drizzle of snow coming down. They're all huddled together, still a little bit worried, eyes wide and darting about.
All right, we got the meat up. Everyone ready to go? We got some bear scraps. We can make them into clothing. Barely. Oh. Oh, my dad joke hat is off to you, sir.
You've won this round, Mr. Bond.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing them starting to shiver, be like, would anyone like some hot water?
Everyone who is
Who wants
an
some bear
adult,
fur?
that'll be Steve and the old lady and Carrie, will step forward to accept warm water. They will make sure that the kids drink first, who are unexcited because it's just warm water, but not everything to be sugar bombs.
It's warm. It'll warm you up.
And that purpose will be well served.
Can Greg would like to get on the good graces of some of these tiny children, and may decide he want to use some of his honey to drip into the warm water to make it a little bit tastier. So and give those for free to the little children, so that they can also be taken care of.
Now, you are inherently unapproachable by some folks because of your ghoulness. That makes things more difficult, but you're also offering a little bit of a favor. Can you roll for me your speech, please?
Yes. This one.
You are welcome to bank an action point while you successfully propose and offer the sweetening for the water. Find the reluctance shown by the kids is taken away by encouragement by the adults. And of course, you have a very inviting nature when you do speak.
I would
Able
like
break
to
through those
sort
resistances.
of play with them a little bit and say, well, children, I can't just give away these sorts of things for free. This is some very tasty honey. I will require payment in return. I require you tell me a story. And I will listen to the children who tell, I'm sure, some sort of fanciful fictional tall tale. And whatever story they tell will be good enough to earn them some honey.
So they're going to each of them have different stories to tell. One group is telling you a story about how they watched some of the members who you're currently working with find a couple of idiot kids at a red rocket stop and how they watched to find out how they would react. Essentially, the meaning of the group. The other two kids, Jack and Jill, are going to regale the tale of when they went out wandering by themselves and then got caught by Mirelurks and thought that they were done for. But once again, members of your adventuring party came to their rescue. It seems the arrival of the Vault Dwellers has changed lives and improved situations, provided opportunities for everyone. Better life. / any life. They surely would have been Mirelurk food had they not arrived. And for Benjamin and Brandon, they just had been observing a couple of rather idiotic kids who somehow survived on luck alone, but they allowed them to kind of be bait. Like if anybody were to encounter them first, they'd be able to observe from a distance and see how things went. Incidentally, those two idiot children were taken by the Duwamish lady and have not been seen since. So they're going to be regaling those tales on the rest of your trip. One of them wants to know if they can ride Penny, which makes all of them want to ride Penny. Penny can only take 2 at a time.
How many children are there?
4.
Okay. I will agree. But they have to take turns. And I say something crazy like, well, she can only take 2, so you'll have to fight to the death to see who gets to ride her. And then just it's okay. I'm only kidding. It's a terrible joke. You don't actually have to fight children. How about we just go with the oldest first?
Make them fight to the death.
Benjamin and Brandon had prepared to take out Shanks and have now put them away.
Childhood blood sport is fun. I've got plenty of drugs I could give them.
Lord of the Flies situation there. So Jack and Jill are actually younger, so they'll be sad that they have to wait. And they did not see the Shanks being provided, so perhaps they will not have been intimidated into cooperation. But you are definitely making friends of the young ones, where before leaving on this trip, they definitely avoided you. They would kind of stare at the corner of their eye, and then when they caught you looking, they would look away, as kids do. But good job to Greg for making friends of the most wary.
It's what I'm good at. You got to be good at something, and I just make friends all over the place. I just find friendly people everywhere.
I'll make sure to hand over the bear's scraps to one of the people who can work with fabric.
Did you include a fabric-y person to be heading out to Pike Place?
Honestly, I don't know. I was just trying to get names moved around. There's a scavenger. I don't know if the scavenger or Frank Miller, the hunter trapper, could do it. Carrie Blake is also a scavenger and a caretaker. I don't know if any of them have like stitching skills. There's not really.
Not particularly. There are some tailors available within the network, but I wouldn't say necessarily any of these are better. Honestly, actually, the best one who would be suited towards stitching those pieces back together would be the nurse bot. And they would just do it by way of like stitching a wound. So it's not going to be necessarily
so same like me then.
Pretty, but yeah.
So since I have like medicine high and can stitch wounds, I could technically do that very thing.
Yes, but it wouldn't be pretty. It would be functional. Like they would stitch together sturdy, but it would be a big old ugly scar. Again, that may not matter to your purpose.
Yeah, because I'm going to find like a jacket, stitch the stuff on the inside so it's fur lined. See my point?
Of the
like
size
I don't care about it.
Yao Guai carcasses, I would say you probably don't want to stitch anything together yet then.
Okay. then we'll just throw them in a pile and carry them with us.
It probably also needs to be cleaned. Probably stinky.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Indeed.
Don't you have a flamethrower?
No.
I thought somebody had one.
I have grenades though.
Yeah,
There's a
Okay, well,
flaming
that's-
shish kebab sword, and of course the Sparks manner of propulsion is in open flame.
maybe. Oh, sparks! I have an idea. Look, we put the pelts down, skin up, right, and then you just like back and forth in a very robotic, sequential fashion in various different patterns to equally heat, dry, and we stretch them across maybe something. If we do that, it probably tans them pretty quick.
I can rig something up when we get to Pike's place.
And when we get to Pike's place, the nurse can do it on her off hours.
I don't think you're wrong.
Sounds great.
The rest of your passage will not be nearly as eventful as starting out. No further Yao Gai, no harassment by anything living further. Snow picks up a little bit, but otherwise, pretty comfortable journey. You will arrive. Again, the entrance to Pike Place, kind of some stairs down from an upper level, meander their way down. And on this side is really the only places. A lot of this is underground. A lot of things have collapsed. So it is defensible, but is also kind of a pseudo undergroundish kind of pocket. But a lot of empty storefronts. There's a little bit of raiding for things that had some functional, some sentimental, old school value, some antiques and stuff. But there is plenty here in way of common materials, some uncommon materials for building. So as far
Lots
as
of dirty water.
repurposing, there's not a lot of cost. I would say it's the dirtiest water. You can't even like boil out the nastiness of that is that sludge.
Yeah, where
'Cause it's
this
not
place doesn't
supposed
need
to
a power
be
station
water.
as much as it needs water filtration.
That's on the list of Spark things to do because I got 36 water trips.
Yeah, so you guys are welcome to prioritize. Of course, the residents that are moving in are going to want to have habitable zones, places to call their own. So that's going to be their own personal priorities, but you guys can also set services.
Well, as he points out to
Functions,
Steve, like
priorities.
there's plenty of options for people to find places to live, turn a store into a kind of a mansion of a house. Make one of them a school, make one a town hall, But since this is your first time seeing it, at least you understand, I hope, why we were like, this is a pretty good place to live.
Words cannot describe the vastness of this place, and he is going to be pleasantly surprised, very eagerly taking his tour in the candy store.
Yeah, when we get down to the part where I point out, like, hey, don't drink that water kind of thing, and I'll point out over to the kind of a frozen waterfall-esque thing, and like, and the group found me tied up with the scavengers. Well, not tied up, but like tending them over there before we murdered everybody, and I got this. Just out of curiosity, because I don't think we did anything about it, are the frozen corpses of these scavengers still around?
So out of game, I had assumed that you will have, because you did raid what was ever on their body and stuff. I don't know if you would have shoved them into the water or cleared them out of here. There was an intent to return. I don't think that you would have just left their
I
bodies
don't think we shoved them
there.
into the water because we were hoping to maybe purify that later, but
Yeah, well, there wasn't any official action taken. I'm not assuming that you would have just left them out because they absolutely will be undisturbed, still dead, now frozen in place with blood pools that have also frozen and stuff. I just assumed that you guys would have taken care of them some form or
Okay, we
fashion.
drag them outside and leave them for the animals to find later.
Oh, you guys are creating a beacon for animals to come and okay, perfect. I will note that as canon.
Look,
Excellent.
I just don't know what else we would have done with them because I don't think shoving them in the water was a smart decision.
Yeah. Why do you think the
Burning,
Jaguar?
burning and burying is the best way as to not draw in more predators.
If we did burn them, I don't remember.
Oh, there definitely was no action taken at the time. I'm just kind of
Okay.
allowing for an out of game, like if you guys have a standard way, because the same thing would apply to like the bodies at the government district at the hospital, where you killed people and left them where they got killed after going through their pockets.
Then I think we would handle it now with dismembering and burning the bodies.
Well, I mean, hold on.
I mean to imply
Animals.
that you might have a process already previously established in dealing with the bodies of the dead, and that could have been implemented here, like out of game,
I don't mind doing it
Animals.
off
now.
screen and stuff.
Animals showing up isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, that is a means of getting, food and stuff.
And training.
So, I mean, maybe it's better. I mean, we could just put them in a spot that's not super close. We want to just drag them over somewhere, and then
Yeah,
if
then we
it
could
starts,
go hunting when the people show up and just kill them.
right? I mean, that's a thought.
Yeah,
I mean, it could also potentially attract ghouls, but whatever.
whatever. Then we get food, irradiated meat for Greg.
Oh, it's pronounced Grieg.
Rig.
It's okay. It's a common mistake. It's fine.
I would like to point out that in your absence, while there are scavengers here, there is a person who is a hunter and trapper and a marksman. I guess
Yeah,
they're
so
pretty well able to defend themselves against a minor incursion, very minor.
then yeah, I would say that we find the frozen bodies laying around where we left them, and then that's what the plan is, to use the bodies to lure animals in so that you guys can hunt stuff and go from there.
That is gross and morbid, but effective.
Yeah, that's
I'm judging from a
it
position of
didn't.
privilege. I don't have to worry about using dead bodies to hunt. I have a grocery store.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't trying to take care of this off screen. I'm like, no, let's solve problems with this. This is
So
just a very different genre.
oh yeah, and it sets a precedent though. That means that there would still be the left bodies at previous locations you have encountered ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, which means we'll have to revisit the hospital at some point and handle that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's on the to-do list eventually. For now, it's not really affecting anything either way. Just a note
Did
to bear in mind, because if you give me something to use, I will insert maniacal after here.
all right.
I'm just saying. That's probably why the Jaguar are here in the first place.
I mean, the group has certainly murdered enough people on the trade route, so yeah, sure.
I would say that that encounter actually did likely take place closer to the old Ivers restaurant slash near the firehouse. You guys definitely took out some raiders there.
That
So
makes
that
sense.
tracks, yeah. Hey, it's already working because you've already scavenged the meat off of those. Good plan,
Plan A in
Mr.
progress.
Profen.
Yep,
Already
it's
proven
totally what we did.
effective.
It was
on
before my
purpose.
time, but it was still my plan.
Right. Because that happened actually on the way to free you. Actually, that whole thing was
Yep.
just before meeting you. I digress. So yes, Steve is going to propose that their priority first is to find habitable places for houses. They probably want to find a zone within this, like one of these picture squares would be like residential, and then putting in like service shops at other places and stuff. You guys can help direct that or leave it up to them. And then they'd want to figure out, of course, which services or functions to prioritize.
I'd recommend residential on either the second or sorry, the third square or fourth square. And because if you do it down by the water, the kids may fall into it, and that's my bigger concern.
Yeah.
And if you do it too close to the top, someone can still come in if they know the opening the same way we did. That, and it's probably a little better shielded from the elements on the third square or the fourth square. But that's just a recommendation.
They like that. They also like to like the general layout of there being a causeway. They've got kind of a neighborhood feel happening already.
Yeah, and there's obviously a walkway on the second floor, so it's like and then there's stairs periodically along the thing, like, so you can clearly make use of like upper lower area, kind of like maybe business on the ground and residential above kind of thing. That I live above the shop scenario. Back east had it a lot. At least the books that I read say such things.
I think that Steve would propose, given that this section here to start off as residential, likely it will just the sheer number of people, and as things grow, they'll probably use both. But they like kind of setting up there because then it'll be closer to the other functions as opposed to the outside. So yeah, they'll kind of make that their starting habitable zone area. And again, they don't want to like repurpose. It's not like a river that flows through. It's not supposed to be water. That's supposed to be like a flat walkway. It just happens to have collected. Things melt and refreeze and melt and etc. All kinds of very muck. Oh yeah, cheers, Blue. So given that, y'all would likely want to find a way to eliminate the water rather than repurpose it and make it happy, like just finding a way to completely drain it out.
Okay.
But again,
I don't think it would
prioritize as you will. Like you guys can figure that out.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be fast, but what I think we could do is figure out a way to heat a section at a time and then use a sump pump to drag the water out and force it into, I don't know, just other areas where maybe we could filter some of it in acceptable sized doses. And then once it's drained, we could potentially just either fill it in with debris and maybe smooth it over with some concrete, or we could test it for cleanliness, see if we can fix that, and then turn it into a garden
Hmm.
and repurpose it.
Does it have enough sunlight?
Well, with a little, I mean, because some of these stores have power, we could generate, and there are skylights above, so it does get some. We might be able to generate enough combination of light and artificial light to actually make a garden out of a portion of it. And potentially, and he looks over at Greg and says, like, we could study the notion of isolating a portion of the garden, you know, like with a concrete barrier or some kind, and try growing irradiated crops as a means of trade with your folks. I'm really trying to reach out on this. I mean, I don't know why I'm coming across as condescending to them, but because there are absolute benefits to radiation when it comes to medicine. And maybe if I had the chance to study more, I could figure out how to take care of your people's needs as much as using some of the irradiated crops to actually make medicines for non-irradiated folks. I mean, it could serve more than one purpose. Just I see radiation the same way people saw fire back ages ago when
Fire
they first
bad.
discovered it. Yeah, it's like they're like radiation bad. I'm like, no, radiation's a tool. You can use fire to do things, but it also will burn you if you're not paying attention. I'm like, you could use irradiation things to do things, but also burn you if you're not paying attention.
That is literally and figuratively accurate.
So are there actually plants that when you grow they just grow irradiated, or are there like special things you have to do to make them irradiated?
I think there is a way that we could grow naturally irradiated seeds, but I need some time to experiment. It's not going to be something I can pull off like right now, but it might be something that, given a couple of months, I could probably figure out a way to make it happen.
When I think about it, I would say that with a Geiger counter, you would probably get a reading, although very faint, even from like trees and stuff. Like the soil, the air, the snow glows green sometimes. Like everything at a base is likely somewhat irradiated
Yeah, and I think we could figure out a way
without
to
effort.
make. I think we could absolutely figure out a way to make naturally occurring irradiated plants, given the nature of this environment, where maybe pre-war that was not necessarily an option.
I think it's almost like the default. Like you would have to go out of your
Yeah,
way to
to
make
make
it not
non-irradiated.
irradiated, unless you're in the kingdom. Their hydroponic systems are all pure and clean, which is an
Yeah,
advantage that they have uniquely.
but there's a lot of irradiated things that are used for medicine, making irradiated items to do that, and we could make stuff that would help people. Like, say irradiation was a choice. Now I realize that a lot of your people weren't given that choice, but have figured out a way to make it work and live. And we could supply both societies and hopefully foster an understanding between them that an irradiated life is not the end of existence, and a non-irradiated life is not necessarily the end of existence, and figure out a way for cultures to commingle. Because that's what I think the plan is, to just try to make sure we all look out for each other and not die.
Yes, I do think that there is some promise in this idea, although I feel that my community would be more inclined to accept the knowledge of your experimentation more than the fruit of it, if you understand my meaning. I
Fine,
believe
I'll
that
share
they
it.
would want to be self sufficient in their ability to create an irradiated vegetable more than they would like to be reliant upon somebody else to create that vegetable for them.
That's fair, but I will tell you that as a person who does trade, much as yourself, um, if I was going to sell the method I use to create your food, I'd want a lot more payback than selling you the food. Does that make sense?
Right. And that definitely does, of course. And that's sort of the direction that I was going, is that they would find that knowledge to be a lot more valuable.
Then let's start with the basics. Let's start with making a proof of concept that can be sold. And if they like the idea over time, then maybe we can figure out a way to offer a teaching program, like one comes in apprentices, and then I show them how to do it, and they can take that knowledge back. But baby steps, like you were coaching us on back at the store.
Agree.
So are you going to
Agree
prepare a pitch
wholeheartedly.
for Ghoul Shark Tank? Is that what's going on right now?
Kinda. So,
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. I do not want. I'm sort of in between both of our worlds, and so I do not want the experimentation of how to make things more irradiated have any harm come to your community but I believe that we would be very interested in the outcome of your experimentation. And so, if you had a way of doing that safely for you and effectively for us, I think that negotiations would be very fruitful for both sides.
Perfect. I know we have a Mirelurk Queen to take care of first, but we're going to put that absolutely on the agenda of me spending some time here to create a, not a clinic as much as, what's the term in the book? What's the term in the book?
Medical school?
I was, yes, and oncology is the study of radiation.
Mm.
Back doctor.
But yes, a school of medical radiation.
There definitely would have been some stuff available, facilities available. Of course, you have to repurpose them and power them, but the hospital district will have had a special area for that.
I have no doubt. Because they would have MRIs and various other scanning things that would make use of some of that stuff. And
Yeah.
um,
In the style of like old iron lungs and stuff, like everything is all. You guys have been in Fallout, you know. It wouldn't be
yeah,
modern
cancer
shiny.
treatments and no. So yeah, I think there's promise either way. So yeah,
But
I'll
yeah,
just
the
table
whole
that on
thing
the
was
agenda stuff.
the whole thing in Fallout is that atomic power is embraced as a source for power, and so like
Hmm.
experimenting with it was definitely more encouraged in this world than our own, even to this day.
Yep. And so I would have to assume that at some point, because he learned a lot of medical skills to be where he's at, he's come across something about it, even if it's cursory knowledge. Something to build upon. Okay. Steve, I'll leave it to you. I think we should stay off the lower portion with the water area until we can figure out a way to make that go away and not a problem for you guys.
Steve is very appreciative not only of the courtesy of the escort, but in cooperating with planning out the new settlement here. They do have enough provisional supplies to last them for a bit, at least until more can be delivered or acquired by
Yeah,
trapping with
he
bodies and
likes pointing
stuff.
out that while it's not every store, because clearly some are dark,
Mhm.
like there are some stores in here that, like he'll hit a switch, like the lights work. I don't know why, but they do.
City power grid.
Yeah, so it's just like, it won't be every place, but you guys can start with things you can turn on. He's kind of like, ta-da!
Right.
So that was, now I hope you understand the reason I was such a hard ass about trying to get that power station back at the docks working. Because I saw this and I was like, oh.
Power is in fact a big deal. There was a listing of businesses in the Park Place market.
Yeah, I remember seeing that because we went through some of the ones that were not Starbucks, but like the same way we joke about not an agent, there was not a Starbucks coffee shop that
Oh,
we
it
rated.
is actually Starbucks.
Oh, did you name it Starbucks? And
Starbucks
I forgot, I
originated
think.
in Seattle. Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
They will not have, because in the Fallout universe, Slocum's Joe is way more popular. So Starbucks would have been kind of like a startup, and it wouldn't have gotten off the ground the way it has in our universe. But yeah, they would have had their first
We
be
rated the
like a
Scoops
local.
Ahoy.
Yes.
Where was it?
Technically, you did raid everything. Like there was some salvage from each place. What I wanted to get at was which ones would you say tear this place down? It's not going to serve us in our current situation, or preserve this place. This is a shop that should be made to be reworking with time.
Oh man, anything that provided. Um, I think the dairy dock can go. The tools, if there's any tools left in Seaside Gyms, could be scavenged and it could be repurposed. And as much as I like the idea of hand-poured candles, again, I would just save the tools and anything that would be used for melting wax and stuff like that. And I would repurpose lighthouse luminaries. I would try to save the stuff in Cartographer's Cove and then repurpose that. I think Wheeler's Workshop could be potentially utilized as a workshop for stuff later. If I was going to preserve Seafarer's Salon, I would use it to turn into the new medical area, because those barber chairs can typically be laid back enough to the point that you could use them like an operating table. So I would turn Seafarer's Salon into the
almost.
yeah, like a dentist chair. I would turn Seafarer's Salon into the new medical area. I think if you were going to have a community kitchen, Scoops Ahoy would make a perfect place for that. And if you were going to turn something into a school, you might want to consider taking the Captain's Cove toys and making that into a school because of the play decor. Groovy Tunes, I would just leave open to anything. Yeah. Artisan's Alley, again, I would save any tools that were in there because I don't know if they have brushes, which could be used in other places. I don't know if they have like easels, which again could be used for. There's a lot of. If it says salvage a hand-carved wooden figurine, maybe there's a couple of other tools in there that we didn't notice. I'm less interested in. I'm more just trying to figure out like if these stores have tools that could be repurposed and then otherwise turn them into residential areas.
The answer very quickly to that is absolutely yes. Essentially, the salvage are unique things, but the description itself, like for example, with the Artisan's Alley, they do have tools, plural, hanging on the walls. It is mostly focused in woodworking and pottery.
Sure, but those are still tools that you could use in other shops to do renovations and do things like that.
Of course, yes.
And the same way I'm looking at the dairy thing that could be turned into, or what was it? It was down here at the bottom. Scoops Ahoy could be turned into a kitchen that could service the community, kind of thing. As the Seafarer Salon, it turns a barbershop into a medical facility, stuff like that. I'm trying to look at like what would take the least amount of things to make use of for other stuff like that.
Of course, yeah.
And then the rest of the items, you can, because Groovy Tunes, while everyone loves a good radio, you could move those items into other spaces, and then that becomes a place people can live, kind of thing.
Oh yeah. And those two, like, that just scratches the surface. There are plenty of buildings that are just, you can't tell what they used to be. They're just all not only scavenged out, but like fallen in or
Oh yeah, Wheeler's
decrepit
Workshop
enough.
is a great example, because you have bike racks, tool benches, and I don't give two shits about the posters on the wall, but if there are tool benches, there may be tools on them, like even a screwdriver or something. And they could potentially repurpose the tool bench either into another location, or just that becomes a workshop area and people can make use of the racks to hold things and do stuff. And yeah, it doesn't have to necessarily be bikes, but a functional workshop is a functional workshop. I'm sure Randy would be like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, bikes would be in this world pretty difficult,
not
just
too
because
helpful.
of how thickly covered things are with snow. If that were alleviated, then it would be an amazing resource, since fossil fuels are not particularly in use, and vehicles are all, for the most part, pretty well abandoned and taken out. Although the Wanderer's supplement, whatever it's called, Wanderer's Guide, has stuff about vehicles. So that is actually a thing that could be explored, not in the snow and ice covered streets you currently traverse down.
No, in time, because we'd have to figure out a way to make a snowmobile or something like that.
I would love you guys to construct like Mad Max style snow vehicle and stuff. God damn it, I have the hiccups. I'm so sorry. I hate that
Are you
so
okay?
much. Yeah, it's just the hiccups. I just fucking hate it. But that's my own
No,
thing to
it's
deal with. I
always
was just apologizing for the hiccups happening, the outburst, the stutter.
no. I've had one person who got hiccups and then started choking, so I just wanted to make sure you were doing all right.
Yep, I'm good. Besides personal, like some things just set me off and skip levels of anger, and hiccups is one of them. I can't explain why, but I take it really. I think it's because I can't control it. I'm like just slave to
I got an
whatever.
issue with my car keys.
Yep.
Like if
Just
I don't have
Hiccups are
my
literally the
specific
worst.
keys, yeah. Someone tried to hand me a copy of my key back after I gave it to them so they could make a copy, and I'm like, no, I want the original. Like, but it's the same. Like, I still want the original. It's my key,
Yeah.
and
100%.
it's the dumb little stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Anyway, I digress. I just wanted to apologize because I kept hiccuping when I was trying to talk. But yeah,
That's okay. I have a whole 10-minute rant about how hiccups are like literally worse than cancer. I hate them. I hate them so much.
dude,
Well, now you can talk with Josh. There you
yeah.
go.
I mean, you'd be preaching to the choir, but I'm so with you. Like, dude, it is just so annoying and intrusive, and like, especially for me, like my job involves a lot of talking, so it's kind of intrusive in that way. But even if I'm just sitting here, if there's no one else around, like just getting the hiccups, I'm like, dude, fuck yourself, universe. I'm busy doing whatever I'm doing instead of wanting the hiccups. Anyway, pardon my profane language. That's how I feel about hiccups. At any rate,
Hiccups do suck.
they do. They are the suck.
If I can edit the Pike Place market document, I can make a note underneath each one about like what I think it should become. But again, this is just an opinion. It doesn't have to be that. Just what I think they could be repurposed for.
I have
I
just
think
opened up the document to be editable by anyone, so everyone can contribute to that. Does anybody else have ideas to throw toward that?
well, I think Artisan's Alley. I know we were. You had mentioned like it could be sort of something else, or you could use the tools for something else. But like even like they do pottery, right? They probably have books on pottery, and you can learn how to do pottery. Having
Yeah.
containers for water, having containers for washing your hands, containers for anything made out of pottery is very useful. So even if it's just
Sure.
the thing that it currently is, it doesn't even need to be made into something different. Just a place where you can go to. It does woodworking as well. Make yourself furniture, make yourself containers for water and food and whatnot. Like it, I think it's useful the way it is.
Yeah, I wanted to take the Starbucks coffee in and maybe figure out a way to take the coffee grinder and maybe I could figure out a new way to make powdered items using the coffee grinder so that you have like a functional mortar and pestle, but on a slightly higher scale. Because there's lots of medicines that you could use a coffee grinder for to grind elements down and then turn them into medicines you could apply.
Very clever.
It'll be interesting.
So I have ideas. I'll make a note under each of them, like Doc's idea, over the next week or so.
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys are welcome. I would encourage everyone to contribute to that. I know that everyone loves the world building and paperwork stuff, especially Smooka. So at your leisure.
Oh yeah,
That's sarcasm. I know we've pre-established that as not being the favorite thing.
it's like Travis from Critical Role, like, oh, shopping episode, let's go, and he's like, yay.
Well, it's better since they got rid of Orion. Like you can see him seething. Anyway, let's not open that can of worms. But yeah, Travis, not a fan of shopping episodes. But yeah, so with the group being set up here at Pike's Place, again, they have their basic necessities. I do know that Greg had an interest in perhaps doing some trading now that you have arrived. They're really, for their availability, because they're starting off, they're really just going to have kind of random junk to trade and barter with.
Yep.
And that's going to be kind of similar to what you already have going on. But for them, they'd be going off of similar junk, like the household items, tables and stuff.
But if nothing else, it's networking for Greg.
Right. So I'm hoping that all the children will go around and be like, hey, I met this cool guy. He kind of looks funny, but He's really nice. And then maybe somebody comes by to talk to me, and I start making friends, and maybe I'll figure out what kinds of things they're in need of, so I can keep an eye out for them on my travels.
Okay, yeah, certainly. The essentially because they're rebuilding from scratch, I would say that tools are going to be useful, although, as has been pointed out, they do have a lot available. They have plenty in the way of basic materials because they can tear down and repurpose. They really need to become self-sufficient in the way that the docks has been brought up to be self-sufficient. So it's a very broad brush to be painted in that way. When it comes to personal interests, they've really just gotten a flavor for what it's like to live comfortably versus just surviving. And that is since the arrival of the vault dwellers and such. So you almost have a responsibility to encourage them into that and embracing like a new way of living. Like, hey, you don't have to, have the bare minimum. You can start hoarding things like shiny rocks that you think are pretty or what have you. Collect old world toys
Yeah.
or so you might be in that position where you kind of have to put on your salesman hat and be like, "Hey, you live in a new era, and I've got just the things to get you closer to pre-war living.
I
Look at
think
this
I think that
wonderful plunger I found. Remember plumbing?"
it may come across a little easier for me as well, considering the fact that I lived pre-war. You know, who better to know what pre-war living was like than a almost 300-year-old ghoul?
Oh yeah, and that is
And
in
I think that's
contrast
something
too.
that
Even
they
like the
don't
vault
know.
dwellers don't have like the vault dweller life is very focused, and a lot of time was spent on training. They didn't have a lot of extras because they weren't producing luxury goods. They had luxury, but that was mostly from their conditions, not like having extra shiny things.
Seriously, you have a resource that they, the same reason I talked about trading the source of knowledge as opposed to the product of knowledge. You have knowledge of pre-war stuff. You could identify things for caps. Like, need something identified? One cap.
I'd like
That's
to
true.
point out
Yeah.
too, there being two medical people. Now again, one more geared towards surgical, one more toward chems, and that's a very broad brush to be stroking at you guys. Sorry about that, but the way that you guys can provide advice in preventative measures and what if circumstances just for basic health and survival. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe you haven't considered it before, but if you get like a little paper cut while you're tearing stuff down, wash it and sanitize it rather than letting it get gangrenous. Like, because you guys have, I'm sure, seen some very unfortunate. I'm not even going to describe it because it'll make me gag, but some unique medical growths and stuff, conditions that could have been provided
Yeah,
with basic antibiotics or treatment because people are a little bit unsanitary. Um,
and just
if they
ignorant of
weren't
what needs to
in,
be done.
oh yeah, if you guys weren't in a frozen world, like that's one thing that I think Fallout has left out is how dirty and gross everyone would be. Like there's not toilet paper or working plumbing in most places. You guys have gone out of your way to provide plumbing at the docks. I know that Spark has put on in a lot of effort there. But like people don't know how to flush a toilet and wipe their ass. That is information that is lost. Vault dwellers will, and now they're in a world where they don't have that comfort. Like it used to be hot showers all the time. Where are you going to find one of those now? Like poor
So
Smooka
what you're
is
saying is,
what I'm kind of getting at.
if I if I find a bidet, like it's high price item, like that's gold right there.
Oh yeah.
Life-changing technology because if it can be implemented across the board, yeah, like I would say, and it's kind of an epiphany moment I'm having here, but yeah, for you guys to be able to really start with the basics of, okay, you guys are in a new life, new situation here. Let's start right off the bat by making sure that you're not just shitting in the hallways or in a bucket and leaving it out. Like, let's actually make a process by which you're clean and not leaving unclean things behind. Because otherwise, they're
Yep.
just going to go dump buckets of shit in that already gross sewage-esque water, and that's not going to help anybody along. That's just going to get more disease. And like warm it up so then like mosquitoes form and okay, I'll stop. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you might want to discuss and think on that, come up with like kind of lists, not just for what kind of things to build, but ways to live, like setting up new routines. Like, hey, in the morning, go brush your teeth. Our friend Greg has a few toothbrushes for sale if you need them. And yes, I made sure to put a few toothbrushes in your inventory so that you can sell them. I don't know if you've had a
Yes,
chance to review
toothbrushes
your whole
and a
list, but you've
hairbrush.
got at least a few.
Yep. Yeah,
So
I got some good stuff here. Also, I
make
would
hygiene
be
great again.
I'd be trying to trade with my party members as well, because I'm sure that they have some interesting things. I'm really good at throwing things, but I don't have all that much stuff to throw, so I might be looking for things like grenades in exchange for, I don't know, whatever it is you might need. I may have some magazines. I may have some chems.
You should talk to Tyler about that hairbrush. I'm kidding because he's bald. Yeah. Don't mind me. But yeah, this is all going to happen. Like, you guys, of course, don't have to linger here. You're welcome to like drop them off and be like, all right, well, good luck, guys. We'll be back in a few days with supplies, goods, whatever. Like the trade network can now start working and having some give and take.
Yep.
But
I
y'all
think if
have,
we at least
of course,
stay the
yeah.
night or something, and then
Certainly.
because I know we still have to go deal with the Mirelurk out of the thing, get him his armor.
Well, that was my next question is, yeah, as far as your priorities for moving forth, like immediate priorities, you guys are really keen on attacking that Mirelurk Queen, eh?
Yes.
Tyler's scared constantly at this point that he has a ticking time clock of the Steel Legion showing up.
Mm.
And frankly, he hates bullies.
Oh, the Brotherhood of Steel did not make a good impression upon you, did they?
No, and the Scavengers didn't do a good job by putting him into, indentured servitude. So he really hates bullies.
Well, you are able to influence a new world without that mentality.
Well, let's stay here for the night. We can get things somewhat, basically situated, and then make sure they're relatively set up, and then we can head out.
And to
I think it's
expand
a
on
good
that,
idea.
like that gives you time over the evening, of course, to kind of blueprint out with Steve, like if this area here we have our main residential, things flow out from there. If we want to make a process of so these places will have a framework of electricity and plumbing built into them. They will not be very functional everywhere, but some lights flicker. You might be able to get a couple toilets to flush, whether or not they refill, etc. That's the whole thing. They will have a nurse bot who might be able to do little things, but she's no Spark. She is very kind of focused in what she can do. The Spark would just stay up late while everybody's sleeping and hammer away at utility crafting.
Matter of fact, if we have a night, that's exactly what Spark does.
So kind of like checking stuff out, testing, figuring out the existing framework and figuring out how to restore / build upon that.
Yeah, do very minor repairs as I'm going. Like, oh, that one board's out of place. Tap, tap, tap a nail. Okay, that's done.
Yeah, like maybe we focus on one place that's got like lights and functional plumbing, and we just try to make sure that one location for these people for now is working. And then,
I mean, ideally, I'd like to get a bathroom set up.
and that may be the next step. But if we can give them a place that's got functional water and functional electricity, out of all this entire options, they at least have a central location where they can go make use of things until we can make another one functional and another one functional. Because I'm also trying to not tap out the power grid that might be here. And maybe we can use this to trace back to the city power structure and figure out a way to make that functional for the city. Like there's all kinds of ideas that can come from it. I don't want to break what little of a golden goose we got in this location.
Steve would propose that Scoops Ahoy appeals to him, not for the ice cream part, but for if you can get refrigeration functional. Like that is such a huge thing.
Yeah,
Like
for food.
from what he has read, like refrigeration was a big deal in society growing better, but like surviving from illnesses and stuff, like not having stuff left out to spoil is kind of a big deal. And that's
No,
just
I
something
agree.
he learned from his betters. You live in a world that is naturally refrigerating. So people can take like an old hunk of meat and just throw it into the snow and it will
Pack it in
freeze.
some ice and then put it in a box for a bit. And
Yeah, very,
so
very
the
simple.
easiest
But
way, I've met people who've done that up north, and what they did is used two boxes. So the first box goes directly on the ground. The second box gets packed in the items packed in ice, and the idea is that should a temperature change occur and condensation happens, it drips into the lower box to prevent it from spoiling with warm water the item that's being frozen.
clever.
And so that's the reason they would use wood boxes, and of course you would cover it. But it was a way they did seasonal cold storage.
I just used my garage.
Yeah.
It's cold enough.
We can build an advection cooler.
But yeah, if you're going to focus on one
Yeah.
location getting functional first, let's go with Chips Ahoy then.
Scoops.
Scoops, whatever. Ahoy! Yar.
Yeah,
Stuff,
and of
things.
course, each of those, like an eatery business, will have like its own couple of toilets that you can get functional, stuff like that. But yeah, because of the extra attention that is paid to that location for refrigeration stuff, he's just like, if we expand from here, we're working with a pretty good basis.
Okay.
So yeah, I do have. So then, essentially, more immediate what plans would be in the morning: set out, head back to the docks, take care of Mirelurk Queen. As far as the expansion or introduction of the trade network to Greg, etc., do you have a next destination? Are you at a wait for others to come to us? Do you have longer term plans
I think we need to
after
survive the
the
Mirelurk Queen
Queen?
before we can make that determination.
I guess that's fair. Yeah. Well, you know that she's there. You're welcome to kind of contemplate in the meanwhile. Actually, I will go ahead and close us off for tonight with getting a view of that. Those of you who have traveled, Spark has been there. They can show like a rudimentary map and stuff. Here is the oil rig and a few of its levels, and then, of course, the far bottom right, it appears to be flowing, and there's a breach and access to salt water out there, and that is where you had seen the Mirelurk Queen emerge. You can make plans for kind of ambush or hunt, or you can just go down there and make a bunch of noise and be around like the barricade, and I'll take shots and hope that you don't get spewed upon, whatever's fancy. I'll leave that open there for you guys to contemplate. And then, of course, like every other location, there are a few suggestions of what can be created or repurposed at this location for future settlement services.
Yep.
Again, that's a little bit longer term, I feel like. Like the stuff proposed there is a little fancier than other places. Just about all of them are a little bit more like second, third level, but still pretty sturdy housing. Solid inside if you can get it cleaned up and clear breaches. Like there's no ice and snow outbreaks. Like definitely snow cover on the outside you'll see, but on the inside, it's pretty well insulated. There aren't breaches of snow and ice getting in there, so you can contemplate how to use that to your advantage. I'm going to stop rambling now. Prepare for the great hunt of the Mirelurk Queen. Yes, go ahead.
Where is this in comparison to where we're at now?
So it's a little bit
Off
north and east of the docks location, kind
in
of
the
off the
water.
water. So there was a little boat that was used to essentially the first time the party went there was to rescue an old lady, and she had made it her home, and she hadn't been seen or heard from in a while. And then when the party got there, they realized there was shenanigans, and she was hurt, and she was rescued. She is fine, but
He's now at Pike's
traumatized.
place.
Yep, she sure is. She can tell you all about that place, that Mirelurk, if you can get her talking. She's reluctant to even share what her real name is. Everybody just calls her Old Lady. So that's a thing.
Well, I can get anybody talking. You know, I'm at the conversation.
I look forward to that as the next conversation we have when we pick back up on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah.
Attempts to seduce old lady. Oh no.
Who's the old lady? That's my old lady.
All right, everyone.
Alrighty
I will
then.
see you all in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yep.
Same